Welcome to deep, dark depths, where the shadows whisper ancient secrets and reality bends into nightmares that haunt your sleeping hours. Tonight, we explore 3 true horror stories that prove reality is often far more terrifying than any fiction you imagine. From the misty roads of India to a department store in America, and finally, a terrifying home invasion in South Africa. Our first chilling tale takes us to the dense winter fog of India, where visibility is low and secrets hide. A young girl lived in a quiet house surrounded by nature, usually peaceful, but this winter morning felt strangely different. She looked out her window, hoping to see the sun, but instead, she saw a wall of impenetrable white mist. Through the haze, she noticed a figure standing perfectly still in the middle of the road, staring at the bushes.
It was early in the morning, and seeing someone standing so still for so long seemed incredibly odd and unsettling.
She watched him for several minutes, expecting him to move or walk away, but he remained frozen like a statue. His clothes were ragged and worn, blending in with the gray surroundings, making him look like a ghost in the mist. Hours passed by slowly, and as the sun tried to break through, the man had not moved a single inch. She tried to distract herself with daily chores, but her mind kept drifting back to the strange figure outside. What could possibly be so interesting in a patch of dry bushes that would keep a man transfixed for hours? By noon, the situation shifted from curious to alarming, as normal human behavior does not include standing still for eternity. She called her parents to explain the situation, but they dismissed it as just a crazy local needing some rest. Suddenly, his head twitched slightly to the side, the first movement he had made in over 6 long, agonizing hours. As evening approached, the shadows lengthened, and the man became a dark void against the fading light of the day. Overcome by curiosity and fear, she stepped out onto her porch, the cold air biting at her exposed skin. She stood by the gate, her heart pounding in her chest, trying to see his face through the twilight gloom. Slowly, with a mechanical and unnatural motion, the stranger turned his body until he was facing her directly. His face was a nightmare, featuring eyes that were too wide and a smile that stretched far beyond human limits. She stumbled back, a silent scream trapped in her throat, paralyzed by the sheer malice radiating from his expression. He did not speak a word, simply maintaining that grotesque grin as if enjoying the terror he was inflicting upon her. She turned and bolted inside, slamming the heavy wooden door and locking every deadbolt with trembling, clumsy fingers. Peeking through the curtains, she saw him still standing there, watching her sanctuary with that same frozen, horrific smile. Night fell completely, and the street lights cast long, twisted shadows, but the figure remained a constant in the darkness. She hid under her covers, unable to sleep, listening to the wind and imagining his footsteps approaching her door. When the morning sun finally broke through the curtains, she woke from a fitful rest, dreading what she might see. She rushed to the window and looked out, finding the road completely empty, as if he had never existed. She checked the bushes he had stared at so intensely, but found nothing except disturbed dirt and old leaves. The man was gone, but the memory of that smile would be etched into her mind for the rest of her life. He vanished into the mist from which he came, leaving behind only questions and the lingering sense of dread. Some horrors happen in isolation, but others occur in the most public places, where you think you are safe. Our next story takes place in a brightly lit department store, a sanctuary of consumerism and perceived safety. A teenage girl and her mother decided to spend their afternoon shopping, expecting nothing more than clothes and casual conversation. The store was bathed in artificial light, aisles neatly organized, a mundane setting that usually hides no dark secrets. She wandered off to the shoe section alone, enjoying the freedom of browsing while her mother looked at handbags. While trying on a pair of sneakers, she felt a sudden drop in temperature and a strange sense of being watched. She looked up and froze, spotting a woman standing at the end of the aisle, completely out of place. The stranger was dressed entirely in black, archaic clothing that looked like a costume from a century long past. Her eyes were the most terrifying part, bulged open so wide that the whites completely surrounded her dark irises. A primal instinct screamed at the girl to run, but she felt rooted to the spot by that gaze. Then came the smile, a slow, predatory curling of lips that suggested she was looking at prey, not a person. She stumbled backward, knocking a shoebox to the floor, the noise breaking the trance, but not the woman's stare. Suddenly, her mother appeared from around the corner, asking if she was ready to go, oblivious to the danger. Without speaking, the girl grabbed her mother's arm and pointed down the aisle toward the terrifying figure in black. The mother turned, and her expression instantly shifted from confusion to the same pure horror her daughter was feeling. The woman had moved closer without making a sound,
now standing uncomfortably near, her smile widening even further. Gripping her daughter's hand with bruising force, the mother whispered a single command to leave immediately, abandoning their cart. They speed-walked toward the exit, risking a glance back, only to see the black figure gliding effortlessly behind them. Panic set in, and their walk turned into a run, ignoring the confused stares of other shoppers and employees. Bursting out into the bright sunlight of the parking lot, they didn't stop until they reached the safety of their car. They locked the doors and sat there panting, eyes glued to the automatic doors, waiting for the woman to emerge. The doors slid open multiple times for normal families, but the woman in black never stepped foot outside the store. The mother started the engine and drove away aggressively, constantly checking the rearview mirror until they were miles away. They never spoke about who that woman was, but neither of them ever returned to that specific store again. It remains a mystery whether she was a ghost, a prankster, or something far more sinister hunting for victims. Sometimes the horror doesn't just watch you in public. Sometimes it follows you into the place you sleep. Our final and most terrifying story takes us to South Africa, a beautiful country plagued by high crime rates. Here, high walls and electric fences are not just decorations, they are essential tools for survival against intruders. A mother and her young daughter were sleeping peacefully, believing their fortified home would keep the monsters away. It was 2 a.m, the witching hour, when the silence of the night is deepest and most fragile. The mother woke up suddenly, not from a noise, but from that primal sixth sense that screams of danger. She lay perfectly still, holding her breath, her eyes scanning the dark corners of the familiar bedroom. Her blood ran cold when she realized a silhouette was standing right at the foot of her bed. The intruder stepped closer, and a glint of moonlight revealed a long, serrated knife clutched in his hand. Her terror was instantly replaced by a fierce, protective rage as she looked at her sleeping, innocent daughter. Before he could touch her, she sprang from the bed with a primal scream that shattered the night silence. Adrenaline flooded her veins as she threw pillows and blankets, creating a barrier between the attacker and her child. The little girl woke up screaming, confused and terrified by the violent chaos erupting in their safe haven. Startled by her ferocity, the intruder stumbled back, swinging his weapon wildly but missing as she kicked him away. She grabbed a heavy lamp from the nightstand and swung it with all her might, screaming for him to leave. Realizing he had lost the element of surprise, the coward turned and fled through the bedroom door. She chased him down the hallway, ensuring he was truly retreating, ready to kill to save her family. He scrambled out through the broken living room window he had used to enter, disappearing into the dark night. She rushed back to the bedroom and collapsed onto the bed, holding her sobbing daughter in a vice-like grip. Police arrived minutes later, their flashing lights cutting through the darkness, but the intruder was long gone. They found muddy footprints and a broken lock, physical proof that their sanctuary had been violently violated. The mother gave her statement, her hands still shaking, realizing how close they had come to a tragic end. The next day, they installed even more locks and cameras, turning their home into an impenetrable fortress.
But mental scars do not heal as easily as broken windows, and sleep became a luxury they could rarely afford. This story serves as a brutal reminder that sometimes
The monsters are real people who wish to do us harm.
from the misty roads of India to the aisles of a store and the privacy of our own homes,
Horror does not discriminate by location or time.
it strikes when we are least prepared and most vulnerable. We hope these true stories serve as a warning to always trust your instincts and stay aware of your surroundings. If you enjoyed these terrifying tales, please leave a like and subscribe to support our journey into the darkness. Thank you for watching Deep, Dark Depths. Sleep well tonight, and remember to check the locks before you close your eyes. Don't let the shadows trick your mind, for sometimes what you see in the corner of your eye is real. Until next time, keep your lights on and your courage high, because the deep, dark depths are always watching you. This is the end of our transmission. Stay tuned for more nightmares that will make you question your own reality.
The world is full of untold stories, waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to look into the abyss. Every lock has a key, and every fear has a source. We will find them all, one story at a time. As the candle flickers and fades, so does the line between the living and the things that go bump in the night. Did you see that? Or was it just your imagination playing tricks on you in the safety of your room? Check under your bed, check your closet, because safety is just an illusion we create to help us sleep. The moon hides its face, leaving us in the dark with the creatures that thrive when the light is gone. Listen closely to the wind. Sometimes it carries the voices of those who encountered the darkness and never returned. Even inanimate objects can hold memories of terror, witnessing silent screams that echo through the corridors of time. When your home changes on its own, when things move when you aren't looking, you know you are not alone. Nature itself seems to conspire with the darkness, twisting familiar shapes into monstrous forms that feed on your fear. We interrupt your peace of mind to bring you the unsettling truth that the world is a dangerous place. Time is running out, and the stories are coming to an end, but the fear will linger with you. We close the chapter for now, but the book of horror is endless, with pages written in blood and shadows. Take a moment to breathe, to calm your racing heart before you step back into the reality of your life. Was that the wind? Or was it an uninvited guest trying to find a way into your sanctuary tonight? Superstitions exist for a reason, born from the experiences of those who ignored the signs and paid the price. The lights are flickering, signaling that the energy around you is shifting, perhaps making way for something unseen. Walking alone at night is a gamble with fate, where the stakes are your life and the dealer is death. Animals sense what we cannot. When they stare into the dark and growl, trust that something is looking back. Do not go down into the dark basement, for some secrets are better left buried deep beneath the earth. Mirrors are portals to other worlds. Be careful not to look too long, or you might see something standing behind you. Deep Dark Depths thanks you for your time. Remember to share this video with those who love a good scare. Good night, stay vigilant, and may your dreams be free of the monsters we have unleashed upon your mind tonight.